Well, what is happening, Marvel fans? Welcome back to the channel. I am DL, and this is another edition of my live stream. So yeah, today we are getting back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Today we are going to be talking about the Disney Plus streaming series, What If? And joining with me today, I have from the YouTube channel Compatible Cinema and Gaming and fellow member of Movie Madness Entertainment, Brad.
Yes, sir.
What is going on, Brad?
Not much, man. Just been chilling. I've been watching the Johnny Depp Heard trial all day. I'm just about done with his house manager's testimony.
Hmm.
So it's very interesting. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, I've been watching some of that as well. Interesting stuff did come up.
Especially
Oh,
a lot of stuff came out today.
yeah, yeah.
It's very interesting.
Amber gonna get got.
I think so.
I swear to
I
God.
think so.
All right. So pretty much, I'm trying to play catch up at this point. I know I am behind on a lot of Marvel right now, and I'm trying to get all of the videos done before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness comes out. So we
You
have
got like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. So gotta talk about this. Shang-Chi. I already have that pre-recorded. That's gonna be ready to go after this. And then gotta talk about uh-oh. Uh-oh, Bradley lost connection. Oh no. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, that was weird.
That was weird.
Okay,
But
hold on.
oh, what's that?
Hold on. His mic, his mic disconnected. So I'll
Uh-oh.
be micless for a few minutes until he gets back.
Okay. Oh good. But
Or I
so
mean, camless. Sorry.
Campus, yeah, right. Know what you meant. Well, Shang-Chi, gotta talk about Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Hawkeye. So I'm gonna try my best to get those reviews out before Multiverse of Madness comes out. So yeah, I know I'm behind. What else is new? you know. But yeah, I am actually looking forward to getting into this because as some of you or a lot of you may know, when it comes to the Marvel shows recently, most of all of them have not really impressed me. Um, I I just have a really hard time with these Marvel shows, man.
Agreed.
WandaVision, yeah, WandaVision was a disappointment. Falcon and Winter Soldier was all right. Loki, I guess people consider that to be the best so far, but I'm like, I mean, I don't know if I could say that. Even Hawkeye, oh my god.
This might be a hot take, but I honestly think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is better than Moon Knight so far.
Mm,
To be
oh,
honest. Oh baby, your cam disconnected.
yeah, Austin, help.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Does that to
um then as far as Moon Knight, I haven't watched all the episodes yet because for one thing I'm not really eager to watch it weekly because of all the previous shows. So I'm almost like I'm going to wait till all the episodes air and then I'll just binge it cuz I'm really not excited for this. I mean, I keep
just
hearing things up and down about Moon Knight. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people think it's really dark and cool and different. Some people think, oh no, it's not dark enough. It's the same stuff.
you
So,
know, I'll admit, I'll be honest, okay. I never fall for the Feige Kool-Aid, okay? But when he said that we're gonna have moments in this show that you think that we're gonna pull away and we don't, okay, that really got me intrigued. I was like, okay, I'm ready for something like this in Marvel. It's time. It's the perfect time to start going for a different tone in some of your projects, and stuff for certain characters that fit that darker tone. I looked at Austin the other day for the fourth episode. In the middle of the episode, I just paused and I said, "You were right. I shouldn't have listened. I fell for it. I fell for the lies, the deceit. F you,
dis-
Feige. I was right."
deception, disgrace. yes.
So
Yeah.
mad. This show.
It-
I mean, the show isn't. Listen, I put my criticism out on Twitter the other day, and that's fine. People are gonna critique my criticism. That's okay. But when
Yeah.
people literally tell me, and I understand this for a certain to a certain degree, but people were telling me I'm being too quick to criticize when we haven't been given the full story. When you put me through 4 weeks of trash, I have every right to criticize where you're going with the story, what you're doing so far. I have every right to criticize that. So I think it's just very interesting how people are, you know, I don't know. It's very
A-
interesting.
Absolutely, because like every time I say, I've been saying for most of the shows, it's like it feels like the first 3/4 of the show of the episodes they're a bunch of filler, or there's not a lot going on, and then they save the really good stuff for the last 2 episodes, and I'm like, that's not good storytelling. That doesn't make a good show. And then people want to tell me, "Oh, but it's building up. It's building up to something great." Like you gotta be patient. Like no, I should be hooked somewhat from the first couple of episodes at least. The Mandalorian does that, so why can't the Marvel shows do that? Even Book of Boba Fett hooked me quicker than most of these Marvel shows. Like I don't.
And
Yeah.
and I'll say this too because I was in the Max's comments the other day, and a few people were disputing this, and I think it's just I don't understand this. But when you're given 6 episodes to flesh out a story, and it can be done. There's no doubt that it can be done well with good storytelling, good writers, and a good team. But I think the big issue with these Marvel shows is they're giving these writers the mindset of, hey, basically think of this as a 6 hour movie. So you can have television writers, okay? You can have people that have, you know, been successful in television, have, fleshed out good stories in the format of television, right? You can have them for Marvel shows, but when you put them in that mindset, I think that's the ultimate downfall of these shows is they're giving the television format a go and it's working, but they need to erase that 6 hour movie mindset. Um, and I'm tired of this whole thing that people have, this conception that people have, like 6 episodes means I don't know, like there shouldn't be a limit on television shows, I guess. And I agree with that to a certain point. But like I said, if just because you have 6 episodes doesn't mean it's a good story. And you're giving the writers however many episodes they need to flesh out the story doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Right. Honestly, there's not really like a good like way of knowing how many episodes a show should have. It really just depends on what the story needs. Some episodes do need 6 episodes, some need 10, some needs 20. So,
Personally,
it's
I think 8 is perfect.
8.
I think 8 is a perfect amount.
Yeah, that's a good amount. That's a good amount. For something like the final season of Clone Wars, I wish it was more than 12 episodes, but
Yeah,
you know, that's just me.
and like 8 of those episodes were like filler.
Oh my god.
You
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, which brings us to what if. So I know for a lot of people, they don't really talk about this show as much as the others. Some people consider this to be the worst Marvel show put out, and
I
me
wouldn't.
being, huh? Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the worst. I don't like it at all, but I think Miss Marvel might be the worst. But we'll wait and see.
You think Miss Marvel's gonna be the worst?
It looks terrible.
I mean, yeah, it looks like the kitty, like Spider Man, Tom Holland Spider Man stuff. Like I don't know. Um, Look in the chat real quick. Austin, who was here a second ago, it is the worst Marvel show. You know what? Okay, let's just get into this. Me being the contrarian, I completely disagree. To be honest, this What If is the only Marvel show I thoroughly enjoy right now. Yeah, suck it, Austin. I said it. I said it. What If is a really good Marvel show. This is what I want from these live action stuff. Like, for me, what I really like about this show is that it's similar to how I felt about Star Wars Visions, because guys know I love Star Wars Visions, but
Yeah, Vision is great.
Visions is awesome. Like, they were able to take risks with the storytelling that they established from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're able to go into these different timelines and stuff like that, and they could be as creative and as weird and as different as they want to. They don't have to worry about the continuity of the main MCU, which is so like, Kevin Feige's very strict about it. But this is one of these mediums where they're able to do whatever they want. And for me, for the most part, I found that most of the stories they told in this show thought was really engaging and it was really interesting. And there was a lot of times where I didn't know where the story was going to go. And this is something I could say about the show more than the live action shows. Like, they don't hook me instantly. I'm bored most of the time. I know almost pretty much where the story is going to go. It's predictable MCU formula shit. But in this show, at least in my opinion, it didn't feel as formulaic as we normally get. Now, there is still some cheesy stuff in this show. Of course, they have to have the cheesiness because it's the MCU. It doesn't stray off too much where it feels unrecognizable. So it still
No.
has that Marvel touch here and
Yeah,
there.
it does. It does.
But at least for me, I found myself entertained by this. And I'm hoping that maybe to an extent that some of these stories could be incorporated in some of the multiverse stuff that we're about to get
Mhm.
going forward. There's a big rumors that, some of these characters or some of these plot lines in this show may be incorporated in Multiverse of Madness,
Oh,
which is
I
why,
think, yeah,
which is why
absolutely.
I'm really excited for Multiverse of Madness. That's my most anticipated Marvel film this year. So there's a lot of possibilities with this show. But
Yes.
hey, I'm in the minority. So let's turn it to you, Bradley. Tell us your overall thoughts on What If.
So, like you were just saying, like we might see some of these characters in the movies and stuff because of the multiverse. And I was talking to Austin about this the other day too, and like I really hope they make this multiverse thing like the multiverse saga. Like F the Infinity Saga. This is the multiverse saga now. The multiverse is gonna be a thing now. But there's some things I have with that. But that's not about what if. I'll get into what if. But I think that my biggest issue with the show is most of the episodes feel like bullshit backstories for some of these characters that we might potentially see in a live action movie. That's what I kind of feel like the show was. It was pretty much, and even the writers, when the writers came out and said that they were pretty much drunk the entire time writing the show, it just shows me how much they were taking this seriously. And there's a lot of lazy writing in the show, specifically the finale of this show. The finale was bullshit.
Wait a minute. Wait
That
a
that
minute.
finale was dog
Freaks,
shit.
baby.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. All right.
Take me to church.
But overall, like I will say, I'll give it credit for, it was nice to see something, that was kind of outside of the MCU. It's still canon, right? These stories are still canon to the MCU, and these characters still exist in the multiverse and stuff like that, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. But it was cool to see, different, realities with the Avengers and stuff. Like there's a few episodes I really like, like the Doctor Strange episode, the episode where the Avengers are getting killed off by Hank Pym. That was a great episode. There's one more. Hold on, let me see. There's one more I did like. You know what? I will say, I kind of did like the What If Ultron one episode. That was a pretty good.
Oh,
That was a pretty good episode. But overall, I mean, there's just a bunch of lazy writing in these shows, and I understand like people, and I'm tired of this argument. I'm really tired of this argument. It's a kid show. It's an animated show. You can't criticize an animated show. I'm so tired of that. I am so tired of that.
That makes no sense.
But I can see where they're coming from. They're very defensive and biased, and that's
I
okay.
mean,
But
yeah, I get it. There's still that like their criticism from adults that it really angers me that they treat it differently or they won't give it the time of day because it's animated because they think
but
all animated stuff is for kids and it's just like
exactly. But those same people criticize Star Wars, and Star Wars is for kids.
exactly.
So it's very funny.
And I'll say for What If didn't really feel like a kids show. It felt pretty adult in certain parts, and they were cursing and stuff like that, and there were some really heavy dark moments that happened in the show. So
Yeah,
I
there was.
wouldn't say this is like a kids show.
The biggest, I will say, the biggest slap in the face was the What If Zombies. And can I just say that's the most laziest title?
What
What If
if
Zombies?
zombies?
What if
Yeah.
zombies what? What if the Avengers are zombies? No, but the biggest blue ball scene in What If was when Wanda, zombie Wanda and Hulk are about to fight, right? And they're right about to get to each other and they cut.
Okay,
And
well,
that's it.
before yeah, I get that. We are gonna break down every episode, and then we can get into details with that. but um, but yeah, there's some of that stuff I definitely get what you're saying, and then when we get to a a certain episode with an Asgardian, I have a lot. I have a lot to say about that. Jesus Christ. All right, so let us go. Oh, and of course, this is self-explanatory. Spoilers if you haven't seen What If. It's been out for I don't know how long. So if you haven't
Almost 6 months.
6 months. So yeah, if you haven't seen What If by now, go watch it and then come back and watch this if you don't want to get anything spoiled for you. But I'm sure most of you have already seen it by now. Okay, so gonna go episode by episode. So let us start with what if Captain Carter was the first Avenger?
Oh God.
I don't know what oh godding about. Um so yeah, they start off on like a fun, light note. Um so I really love Agent Carter in the MCU. I think she's great. Um I forget who's the actress name again.
Haley Atwell.
Haley Atwell. Yeah, played awesomely by Haley Atwell.
Yeah, she's great.
hmm And honestly, this is a what if story that I was actually kind of curious about before the show came out. Like, what if she got the super soldier serum? This is something that I've been pondering here and there because, like, in the first Avenger, she was kicking ass and taking names and stuff like that. She was a really good female character, and it's like if anyone else could get the super soldier serum, I think she could have. So
Give us
this
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy, dude. I mean, okay, I guess it doesn't matter if he's old or not, but yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, I guess. Or if what if Bucky was the first one as well?
That would have been pretty cool.
That
And
would have been.
Steve became the Winter Soldier.
Oh God, yeah, now that's a what if story. I would definitely watch. But yeah, overall, I think this episode's pretty fun. I liked it. Um, this one's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of twists that happen in this show. Pretty much it's just showing that it's like if Carter had the super soldier serum, she seemed to be more capable in the missions than Steve Rogers was at the time because she knew exactly what to do in every situation. It seemed like she was kicking ass even more than Captain America. Like they're in the in her opening action sequence, she freaking flipped over an entire truck with the shield and whatever. I'm just like, God damn, I didn't see Captain America doing this. Like, goodness gracious. And though what I also liked, they actually still gave Steve Rogers a role in this episode
Mm-hmm.
that they gave him a proto Iron Man
The
suit.
Ironmonger suit, yeah.
Yeah, man. That was
I did
awesome,
like
bro.
that. That was pretty cool.
That reminded me of some stuff from like the Rocketeer and stuff like that. So it's like that's
Yeah,
really cool.
it wasn't a bad first episode. It was actually pretty good.
hmm And what I thought was really crazy was with the Red Skull. This time he's using the Tesseract to open a portal to another dimension to unleash some sort of tentacle monster Cthulhu type thing. And I'm like,
Ozymandias.
yes, exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was crazy. Didn't expect that. So that was a nice little twist. Um, the one thing I was kind of frustrated with though is they kept faking out Steve Rogers possibly dying, but he doesn't. They did that like 2 or 3 times in the
Yeah.
show. I'm like, is he dead or is he not? Stop playing
Just
with our
kill him
expectations like
off.
that.
Fuck.
Like, yeah, I mean, even though I didn't want them to kill him off because, like, I didn't want them to, like, be exactly like the original story where somebody has to die, like when they were on that train or whatever. I like it would have been nice if they kept Steve alive and uh, Carter and Rogers could develop their romance a little bit more. Like, what if they, both survived and were able to live out their lives? So that's another thing I liked, that they still kept the relationship aspect between
Yeah,
Carter and Steve. That was really really
actually,
nice.
yeah, they do have great chemistry.
They definitely do. And one thing I was kind of concerned what was going to happen is that since she's like the bigger, stronger woman, I was afraid that she was going to like undermine Rogers and there'll be like some, you
Yeah,
know, SJW stuff. No, it wasn't like that. She still was nice. She was kind-hearted. She was actually being supportive of everyone else, you know,
yeah, I
giving
suppose.
them the help they need. So I actually like that. They still kept the essence of who Carter was. So definitely liked that.
Everyone was freaking out when they first saw the trailer, freaking out. Oh, SJW! Oh my god! They didn't even do any of that.
No,
But they still found something to complain about, of course, which
of
per usual.
course. Like women can't be that big. What? No, she looks bad. That. You know what? Shut up. Shut up.
So it's so dumb.
Yeah, man. I also like her outfit. I like her uniform. Really cool. Remind me of Captain Britain from Marvel. Stuff like that. Looked really nice. And the shield, the British
I did like.
emblem on the shield.
I
Yeah.
did.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, she still ends up going to present day with where Nick Fury and Hawkeye are waiting on the other side of the portal. I think this is around it. Is it around the time the first Avengers? Because that's like the same
Yeah,
area that they were in the first Avengers. Oh yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was the same area.
Oh yeah. So that's how she becomes the first Avenger in that timeline and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Um, do you think? I mean, I'm pretty. It's pretty much people semi confirmed it because they see her shield on one of the posters for Doctor Strange too. But do you think we're going to see her in Multiverse of Madness?
I'm not sure because there was something that came out yesterday, and so I'm very very skeptical on cameos and stuff like that. I'm a wait and see type of person. Like I'm gonna wait and see the movie in front of my eyes for the very first time to determine whether they're in the movie or not. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to get my hopes up. I'm very very skeptical about doing that. But there is a huge possibility she could be in it, like you said. Her shield is in the poster, so it wouldn't surprise me. And it wouldn't be out of the realm if she was in it or there was a quick shot of her or something when they're passing through the multiverses. I think we're probably going to get that instead of a lot of cameos. I think we're just going to get a bunch of flashes through different universes and see a bunch of characters we might have seen, or we might get them in the movie, just full on, like they're a part of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't see her being a part of the Illuminati. I think she's more of a combat. She's Captain America. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she's more of a combat type of person, but she could be. She
Mm-hmm.
could be in the movie. I think there's more of a chance of Deadpool maybe being in the movie.
Deadpool. I don't even know if I highly doubt he's going to be in it, but it'd be
Maybe
cool if he does. But like,
it'd be pretty cool
yeah, we'll see.
because me and Austin finished Deadpool two the other day. I haven't seen it in forever,
Mm-hmm.
and we finished it after the end credit scene when he's going back through time.
Oh, dang it. Hopefully he comes back on. Okay.
All right, I'm back. Now I'm plugged
Okay. Glitch in the
in.
matrix.
But when he's messing through time and stuff and rewriting history, I think that's and we got a leak of him like at this cubicle box or something in the Illuminati headquarters or whatever. So I think that might be an outcome of him messing with time at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
it does. It does. I'm like you, where with whatever cameos are going to show up in Multiverse of Madness, I'm going to wait and see. Um, like even though like you guys know I was really skeptical with No Way Home when everyone talked about who's going to show up or whatever, and it's like yeah, we'll wait and see, and they ended and Andrew and Toby end up making it, so it makes me a little bit more optimistic that we'll see more cameos, whatever that people are theorizing, but still I'm like we gotta wait and see. This movie's only 2 hours and 6 minutes. There's only so many characters that can show up in this. um but yeah, that would be really interesting. Um, Okay, so I guess if there's not anything else to talk about, we can move on to the next
Episode 2.
episode. Also, I want to say before we move on, if there is a specific episode you guys are waiting for us to talk about, if you guys aren't watching this live, I will put timestamps in the description after we're done going live. If you guys want to skip to a different episode and stuff like that. Okay, so episode 2 we have
It's where the
what?
trash starts.
Okay, all right. This is where the fighting begins. So this one we have what if? Oh, hold on, I'm trying to find the picture. Yeah, there we go. What if T'Challa became a Star Lord? Now, I know everyone has a lot to say when it comes to this episode specifically because this was the last performance of Chadwick Boseman playing the character is in this show, and for a lot of people, they think he deserved better for his last
He
outing.
did. He did one more episode after this, I believe.
Yeah, he did a couple more after this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I didn't say this episode simply was the last one, but this is in this show. This is his last performance.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, for a lot of people, they think this is a really mediocre way for them for him to send off for his last performance. I completely disagree. I love this episode, and I didn't expect to. Going in, I was like, I was with everyone else when I saw that he was in the Star Lord uniform and stuff like that. I'm like, wait, why? What? This is what you do with Black Panther? You gonna make him Star Lord? Like, there could have been other really much more interesting ideas you could do for Black Panther, but you're gonna resort him to this. But seeing the episode, I thought this was a great. I thought this was a great send off. Because what I really loved about it is that this show really emphasizes how important his character is in the MCU and how much he impacts the ramifications of the MCU. See, he took his persona of Star Lord and he became one of the most well-known warriors in the galaxy. And then what I personally loved, this is also something that annoyed me with the other movies that everyone wants to fight me on because I don't like the MCU's Thanos and I think his motivation is doo-doo. And what does this
I agree.
episode do? It they acknowledge it. They have in this universe Black Panther convinces Thanos not to incinerate half the universe and told him that there's other ways to give resources to the galaxy. And then he becomes a Ravager himself. I'm like, wow, it's like this show was reading my mind. I'm like, I'm glad somebody brought this up. Like, there is no way Thanos is this stupid.
I did
So
like that. I did
that's
like how they kind of made fun of it. That was kind
yeah,
of fun.
that's what I really loved about it. And then also seeing Nebula that she's not torn apart or whatever. She's actually like she's regular and she has blonde hair and stuff like that. Like that was really shocking as well. And then I just thought the overall episode was fun, seeing him as a Ravager with Yandu and stuff like that. That was cool. And then Jimon Hansu's character, I forget what his name was, like the Pursuer or stuff like that.
Oh, he's
Um, yeah, I thought he was pretty funny in this. Like he was going a little too
yeah,
hard with the fanboy stuff, but
yeah,
like,
him fanboying was so cringe.
oh Star
So,
Lord, oh my goodness, this it's you,
oh,
oh my gosh. It's like,
and
should I shoot?
my
Huh?
biggest issue with the show,
Yeah,
okay, is I wanted to see these types of characters. Like I like the fact that there's a universe where T'Challa is Star Lord. Like that's cool. But when you put T'Challa Star Lord in the same exact events of Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't care. They do that throughout the whole show. They put these like in the first episode, they put Peggy Carter in the same, pretty much the same events of the first Avenger. You know, that's my issue with the show. There's no originality in the show. They said we're gonna take these, cool multiverse characters and put them in the movies you've already seen. That's pretty much all we're doing until like the last two episodes. It's their own thing, but it's just I would have cared more about this episode, and I would have cared more about the show in general if they didn't do that.
Mhm.
honestly.
Yeah, I totally get that criticism. I think like with this for this first season, because I think pretty sure we're gonna get a season two. I think this
Yeah,
they were just like they were testing the waters to see how people will respond.
yeah.
So in a way, they're still kind of playing it safe. Like we're gonna switch things around in like events that we've already seen with the other movies. We'll play around with that and see how people
The,
react to it. And then I
the
feel like
way
season two, they're gonna get more crazy. I think.
I feel like they are too, but the way Marvel experiments is just very, very. They don't do it in the right way. They failed. Me personally, to be honest, they kind of honestly did fuck up with Eternals. They fucked up with they didn't really fuck up with Shang Chi because I really like that movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie a lot.
Hmm.
But it turned into a martial arts movie to a kaiju movie in 2.0 seconds.
Yeah, live action anime, bro.
But it was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Uh huh.
But that's the type of thing like they need to really experiment in a different way. I think would be more suitable for them because it's not. I'm not really liking the direction they're going with these new these new things they're doing.
So you're not feeling like the new characters they're introducing right now.
Like Moon Knight, they introduced him in the first episode was good. I'll give him that, but I just don't care about Moon Knight. Like I don't care where he goes after the show. I don't care. The only character I care about going forward is Loki. And Wanda. Wanda for sure I am, even though I didn't like WandaVision. But I am looking forward to seeing her, where she ends up in, Doctor Strange. But that I just don't care about really anything that they're doing right now, to be honest. And that's because of that.
I mean that is disappointing because like for me, like you know, even though I do have my criticisms with some of the movies, like the one thing I feel like they always get right, with the exception of Captain Marvel, is that even if the movies aren't that good, they at least have you be invested in the new characters enough to where you want to see more from them. So I mean, for me, I like the Turtles. I thought it was good, but and that Moon Knight, I haven't watched enough of it for me to get a grasp of Moon Knight as a character.
I'll just wait
Um,
till the end of the fourth episode, DL. You're gonna love it.
oh,
You're gonna
goody,
love the cliffhanger.
mm, great. I mean, and I really like Shang Chi, and this is come
Yeah.
from someone who didn't know anything about the character, and I ended up really liking
So,
Shang Chi. So I just hope going forward they at least keep that the characters are at least interesting enough where I want to see more from them. But
I guess I'm just gonna stop relying on Marvel to get me to care about new characters anymore.
right.
It just hasn't worked.
I mean, the only character that really kind of okay, I wouldn't say fail is the word, but it's like I'm not fully buying this character to where I want to see more is Kate Bishop. I I
I want to see where Hawkeye goes. I want to
yeah.
see. So I don't really care about where she. I'm with you on that, but I'm kind of interested to see where he goes and brings her with him. Like, what kind of is she going to be part of some Avengers level missions and shit? Because I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't
Need to
know
see more.
about that
Need
either.
to see more of it.
Yeah. I mean, I love me some Haley Steinfeld. I'll watch her in anything. And she's the only thing that's making the character watchable, but yeah, it's
For a character that knows martial arts and it's a black belt and who's mastered every fighting technique known to man, can't fight for her life. It's
yeah,
very interesting.
working off of Yelena, she looks like a punk. Like man,
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
pretty bad. But we'll get the Hawkeye in the near future. But getting back to this episode, what I also thought was pretty crazy was that the collector ended up being like the really powerful dictator of the galaxy, and he's commanding the Black Order in this episode, and he has all the antiques from the other superheroes and some of the villains in the universe. Like I'm surprised that he was able to get Hela's helmet and stuff like that. I'm like
That Yeah, I
that
did
was
like all those Easter eggs. I did like those.
pretty nuts. Um,
I thought I would like the Howard the Duck stuff, but it was just no, no,
you didn't like the Howard the Duck stuff?
no.
I mean, I thought it was fine. That was cool. I mean, he didn't do much, but sipping martinis all the time.
It was just like, why is this on the screen? Why is this? Why are we watching this? I want to watch the fight. They do that in the show a lot too. Like they'll have like a cool fight sequence or something, and they'll
And they'll
fucking
cut to something else.
cut to
Yeah,
something else entirely different. I'm like, I don't care. I don't
yeah,
care
yeah,
about this.
yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with that. So I should sue Marvel for the false advertisement.
It,
I barely remembered the advertisement for the show. Like, I think I remember like
there wasn't a
one
lot.
trailer and that's it.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot.
And this is not the first time Marvel false advertised in their movies. Avengers. So they do this all the time. And I pray to God. I mean, and they did it for No Way Home, but they did that for a reason. So I was fine with that. But I pray to God there's no false advertising in Multiverse of Madness because every shot in that movie I'm excited to see on the screen. And if there's one shot in the trailer that's not in the movie, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to
Well,
be mad.
I think there's some in there for sure. Some Wanda stuff. There's particularly there's a certain sequence that someone pointed out on Twitter that I revised and watched it after they pointed it out, and I was like, oh, that's definitely an edit. It's a particular scene that came out with Wanda and this like big demon monster next to her,
Hmm.
and Wong is like right in front of the monster, and that's such an edit. They're fighting Wanda in the movie, so they're trying to, we kind of know that Wanda's the villain of this movie, but they're keeping it very very low key, and I like that a lot. Low key, get it? There you
Low key. Ha 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 ha
go.
ha. See what you did there. But yeah, okay, so that type of stuff I don't mind. But like I've heard I've heard some like reports. I'm gonna use that with a grain of salt that they said that they told Raimi to cut out certain things and then add other things into the movie. So I'm like, oh my god, is this part of the reshoot stuff? Is the movie not going to be exactly how the trailers are or close to it? Like this
See,
is yeah, this is one of the reasons why I was surprised that Sam Raimi would agree to work on an MCU film because, of how much crap Sony was giving them for the Spider-Man movies. I didn't think he would want to work in
well,
such a restriction like the
did,
MCU.
did you see what he said a few weeks ago about coming back?
No, I didn't.
So he basically said that he really wanted to come back to kind of make up for Spider-Man 3. Like his fan base, like he really wanted to
Oh,
make
okay.
make up for that, and this he knew that people hated that movie, and he got so much shit, and he hates that movie,
Hmm.
um, to the point where he doesn't want to talk about it. So I think that's big, and I love that. I love like Sam Raimi gets a chance to redeem himself, and I love how they called him too. His agent. He said his agent hit him up and said, "Hey, Marvel's looking for a director for Doctor Strange too."
Hmm.
Uh, and I love the fact that he watched a YouTube video, kind of recapping the MCU to get caught up. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So okay. So I actually do remember hearing that, he wanted to make up for Spider-Man 3, which is cool. This is good.
Yeah.
Um But yeah, back to the T'Challa thing. I actually like that his father was alive in this episode. Like he did die from the explosion in Civil War. Um, it was kind of a stretch to accept that young T'Challa would just be okay with traveling with Yondu to other galaxies. That was a little bit of a stretch for me. Um, but at least I was okay. It was okay because he ended up going back to Wakanda at the end of the episode.
And
So
with the technology Wakanda has, they didn't sense a ship coming in there. AO.
yeah, that's another thing. That is another thing. So I was like, all right, okay. That's another thing with the show, which I understand some of the criticisms people have with it. Like this show
Some plot
expects you
holes.
to suspend, yeah, plot holes and suspend disbelief with certain things like that. So I'm like, yes, some of that stuff kind of bothered me as we go through some of the episodes, but it's like it wasn't too much where I was like, okay, this is bullshit for the most part. Like I was still invested enough in the story where I was like, it's okay,
It
it's
didn't
fine.
get to that point for me until like the last 2 3 episodes, and I was like, okay, seriously.
Yeah, that one we actually will probably fight on. But anyway, we will move on then to episode 3, which is what if the world lost its mightiest heroes?
This was a great episode. This honestly might be this is my second favorite.
Yeah, this episode was really good. Um, this episode, I had no idea what was going on. That episode did a really good job of like keeping me in the dark about what was happening. So this is taking place around the time of Iron Man 2 and Thor 1, and an Incredible Hulk because they visit all three of those things. So we start off in Iron Man 2 where Iron Man's on the at the donut place eating donuts or whatever, and they're talking and they give him the shot with the stuff that'll ease his condition, but after he gets hit with the shot, he drops dead. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Wait a second, did it just kill him? So it was at that point I was like, "What's up, Andrew? How's it going?" And you can make it, but yeah, so it was that point where the main Avengers started to slowly get killed off. Because then we cut to in Thor 1 where Thor is infiltrating that shield base around Mjolnir, and he's about to pull Mjolnir out the ground, and Hawkeye is holding the arrow, waiting
Yeah,
for
so
orders, and then he just lets go of the arrow, and then he shoots Thor point blank and kills him. It's like, wait, Hawkeye doesn't do that. He's
yeah,
not impulsive like that. What's going on right now? And then they have him locked up after that because they thought that they shot him, but then he gets killed in his cell, and nobody sees what happens. Nobody went in. Nobody came out. And I was like, what is happening right now? Like people are getting killed off left and right.
little tiny Hank Pym.
Little tiny Hank Pym. Like I didn't think about that at all. Like
Yep.
literally, I didn't even realize that until he showed up, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Why did I not think that is clever?
I think my favorite death of the whole episode is Hulk's when he blows up like a giant piece of gum.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
because okay, all the Avengers are killing off, but how are you gonna kill the Hulk? Because you can't kill
Go
him, right?
inside.
But then he went inside and messed with his atoms, and then he blows up from the inside. I was like, what the
Pretty cool.
hell? That's awesome. And then Black Widow also gets killed like in the library, like he's in the dark and like something's dragging him. You don't see what's going on. It's like, is this some sort of phantom demon entity? But no, it's Hank Pym as Yellow Jacket, because in this timeline, Hope gets killed doing a mission for Shield, and you know how protective Hank Pym is of Hope, not wanting her to become the new Wasp and stuff like that because of what happened to their mother and stuff like that. And so he he's getting revenge on Shield by killing off all the main Avengers and him because technically Nick is an Avenger because of the contract and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. I really liked this episode. As I said, like it really did a good job of keeping me in the dark, and that the twist was just it was very well done. Um, and what I also liked is that people want to ignore the Incredible Hulk movie, because it's not like a because it's a Universal movie or whatever, and there's a different actor. It was Edward Norton and stuff like that, so people tend to ignore it because of Mark Ruffalo. But I liked that they acknowledged the Incredible Hulk.
I like that.
Yeah, and I like that they brought back Betty Ross in this episode. I know people give the actress shit because of how she talks, but like it doesn't bother me at
I puts me to
all.
sleep every time she's on screen. Even in Lord of the Rings, she puts me to sleep. Oh my god.
Granted, I don't remember her character in the movie, so I grant you, I give you that. But like, I actually like her Betty Ross a lot
In Lord of the Rings,
in Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
she
that's the
was
one.
Legolas. She was the love interest of Legolas.
Oh,
I
okay,
always forget her name.
yeah. But yeah, I like her Betty Ross, and I'm glad that they brought her character back in this.
I
episode.
prefer Connolly.
Nope, I do not. She is boring. She is boring. Like,
Just like I prefer what's her name from Batman Begins, who played Rachel. That's her name.
Oh,
Katie
Maggie,
Holmes. Katie
Katie
Holmes.
Holmes. Yeah,
I prefer Katie Holmes over Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I agree with you on that. Maggie Gyllenhaal was not that.
Terrible.
Nope. Um, but yeah, man. Oh, and then this alternate timeline, Loki, since Thor died, Loki is automatically the king of Asgard, and he comes down and tries to negotiate the stuff with Nick Fury, figure out who killed his brother and stuff like that in the Avengers. So they end
Yeah,
up
that
having
was that
a
was
temporary alliance. But yeah.
that was cringe. The dialogue was pretty cringe.
I mean, I found that as typical Loki dialogue, which he has some cringe stuff there and there in the earlier stuff in the MCU. So that's
Specifically the first Avengers. Yeah.
very the Avengers. Yes, exactly. Um, and of course, I was waiting for Loki to turn on Nick and try to take over, and it was very predictable there. But that actually ends up happening. It like nobody's there to stop him, and he ends up taking over the world. So I'm like, wait, can we see a part two? I want to see a part two of that. What happens after that? And
So I
then
think in
they call
season
Captain
two,
Marvel as well. So
because we did get a few cliffhangers, and the
yeah,
last every episode I think ends in a cliffhanger in a way
yeah,
where or at least it's open ended, so where you can continue a part two or you can't. You can kind of fill in the blanks with some of them, but I think in season two they'll catch up with some of those episodes.
yeah. I agree. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it with this episode. So we're going to move on to oh man, this is my personal favorite episode of the entire show. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? This episode is fire. Oh my god. This is great. Um the risk taking that said about this show, this is a prime example of the risk taking that I want the MCU to make. This this episode is dark. This episode is personal. This episode is like messed up, man. Like
It's really sad.
yeah, I didn't expect for them to go in this direction. So in this episode, in the alternate universe, Doctor Strange is taking Rachel McAdams' character. I forget her name. Um,
Christine Palmer.
Christine Palmer. So in this universe, they are driving to a party or whatever. And they drive in the on the hillside like they do in the movie. And then they both get into the car crash, and she dies from the car crash, and he gets his hands broken just like in the movie. And so in this universe, like Doctor Strange is obsessed with using his sorcery to reverse time and prevent Christine from dying. But every time he tries to go back in time and change the events, she ends up dying anyway. Like, yeah, she like
That that was I did like that. It showed him going through that. Different. He's reliving her death every time he does that, and no matter
yeah,
what, he's still going, still trying and trying. So like, perseverance, Doctor Strange is totally in tone, and with the character in the movies for sure. Like, I would love the whole time I was watching the episode, I would love to see this in a movie, or just I don't know, just a little flash in the second movie or something. I don't know, but it's the best one in my opinion. Best episode.
I agree. I agree. Like, man, it was hard to watch kind of seeing him going back over and over again and she dies in different ways. I'm like, it is messed up. And then like the ancient one comes and is like you can't prevent her from dying because this is an event that has to happen. If she doesn't die, you don't become the sorcerer supreme, stuff like that. And so Strange ends up like disappearing off the grid and goes to this ancient temple where he studies dark magic and absorbs all of the dark like entities and spirits and whatever to make him Strange Supreme, the most powerful sorceress using all of dark magic and stuff like that. And he's going to use that to change the ramifications of reality to prevent Christine from dying. So he is so desperate that he goes to every every dark entity known in the sorcerer's world and just absorbs into him without even questioning how it would affect him and the rest of reality. Like, it is nuts. And so then it gets even more twisted because the ancient one makes splits the two timelines in half, where they split Strange Supreme's timeline and then the regular Doctor Strange in a different timeline, to like postpone the reality getting melted, because it ends up when he gets all the Strange Supreme powers, then regular Doctor Strange's reality starts melting away and stuff like that. And so the ancient one warns regular Doctor Strange he has to stop Strange Supreme, from changing reality, or both of their realities are going to be destroyed. And so Strange Supreme um then goes to regular Strange and tries to absorb him because he's the remaining piece to help him get the power that he needs. And so it ends up being a fight between Doctor Strange and Strange Supreme, fighting to whoever's going to defeat who. And then that whole fight was really really cool. Like the magic fights and stuff like that.
It
This is
was,
the
yeah.
stuff I wanted to see in the first Doctor Strange. Like, this is some crazy, trippy, like insane stuff happening in that whole fight. I really like that. This whole trippy thing of them splitting realities and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
And this is the stuff that looks like this is going to be apparent in Multiverse of Madness, the trippy, insane stuff that I wanted from the first movie. So,
I will say though, the one complaint I have with the episode,
yeah.
Benedict did not try to voice act at all. He did not try.
You thought he
Like,
didn't try?
I felt nothing in that episode with his, like, the story. It was very emotional for me. I felt like I wanted to cry because it was very emotional, but I just couldn't because his voice acting was just very flat, and just throughout the show, most of the actors from the movies that came in to do a voice dub didn't. It just felt like they're so used to being on camera, like they'd never done voice acting before. It's just, and like, Benedict, you did Smoke, man. You did Smoke. You can't do Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you did Shere Khan and Mowgli. You were Cumber Khan and Into Darkness. You even tried harder than that. So I was like, I mean, I get what you're saying with that. Like, I guess that's one other thing, was like, I did feel like the voice acting was kind of off in
Could have been better.
places. Yeah. And it's like, there was another criticism people were talking about, where it's like, you notice that there's certain voice actors that weren't like the actual actors that played them in live action. Like, watching it again recently, I actually heard that more. So I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely see that. Like, it wasn't the
There's a
same
few
actress that was Gamora and Spider Man and stuff like that. So I was like,
There's a few times where I was like, is that Chris Evans? No? Okay.
eh. Yeah, it's a Chris Evans sound alike. So I was like, okay. um, but yeah, I definitely see what you're saying with that. Definitely. Um, okay, so Strange Supreme ends up killing, absorbing regular Doctor Strange, and he gets all the power that he needs, and then he turns into this big Cthulhu monster, or whatever, and then he brings back Christine, and then Christine gets scared of him because he's the monster, or whatever, and then all of reality starts just melting away and stuff like that, and then okay, so this part like also took me off guard because I forget to mention the Watcher, who narrates all the episodes. First of all, I thought the Watcher in this show was really really good. I really like that they made him the narrator and the framing device for most of these episodes. Now, what I was expecting with the Watcher is that he's just gonna be the narrator, and like they're not gonna acknowledge his existence and stuff like that. It's like somebody reading a book of Winnie the Pooh. It's like whatever. Like, they're not gonna acknowledge the narrator and stuff like that. But then this episode started to be like, wait, when the Watcher's like talking about what's going on, then the characters are like, wait, who said that? And then I was like, wait, do they know that he's there? And then when reality started melting, and then he sees the Watcher like just looking at him, be like, "Hey, you can stop this!" like, help me. And then the Watcher comes in like, oh no, you did this to yourself. You've been warned to not to tamper with reality and dark magic, so it's on you now. And then it's like he's like, please, then punish me. Don't let the world, suffer for my mistakes or whatever. And he's like, if I could fix this, if I could punish you, I would, but I can't interfere. So you suffer the consequences. And then
But talking to him is sort of interfering. Think about
yeah, I guess, but like when he already knows that he's there, so it's like I don't know, and he doesn't do
it.
anything.
I
So
just think the mere fact of knowing that a higher entity existing outside of the realm of your universe, knowing that they could do something, is enough. I think.
yeah, I get that. I mean, there's always been like inconsistencies with like who runs reality and whatever timelines. They introduced like 4 or 5 different like entities that run the universe. Like who's top billing? Is it the
The
TVA?
Celestials, the
Is it the
TVA,
Celestials? The Watchers?
yeah, it's
The
fun.
one who knows all, Kang, like what's going on? The ancient one, like there's too much stuff. So the Illuminati now, like like what's going on right now? But yeah, so I thought that was crazy. They actually acknowledge that the Watcher is there, and he still doesn't help him. And then his universe ends up disappearing anyway, and Christine melts away, and he's just stuck in this little ball by himself in a pretty much a black void. And that's how the episode ends. And it's just like, wow, that's nuts.
We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that guy come back. Sweet.
Yeah, see him in the trailer. Can't wait, man. It's gonna
That's
be
gonna be interesting.
that is gonna be interesting, especially after what happens in the finale. It's like, which side is he gonna be on in Multiverse of Madness?
And
So
I'm kind of interested to see if that maybe is the same Strange that decays and turns into the zombie. It has all these arms, or maybe that's a different Strange. I'm not sure.
yeah, that too. I'm wondering about that as well. Um, and then now speaking of that, next episode, what if zombies? Yep. What if zombies? That's that's yeah, as you said, very creative title. What if
You
zombies?
know, right? So they
Oh
can come up with.
yeah. So okay, I know there's comic lines of Marvel zombies, and I didn't fully get into them. I mean, it felt like some sort of Halloween gimmick for Marvel,
Yeah,
so it's whatever.
zombies are kind of boring to me personally. I'm not a big
Yeah, I
zombie guy.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Do you like Zombieland, World War Z,
I
Shaun of the
love
Dead?
Zombieland.
Yeah,
Love Shaun of the Dead. World War Z. I've only seen once when it first came out, and I was really like I was a kid when it first came out. I was like
yeah.
12, I think. So I will have to revisit it. But I'm not a big zombie guy, to be honest. Like, I don't like Army of the Dead, but I do like the new
Ah,
interpretation of, you know, a fast zombie. I kind of like those. You know,
yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. Like, I like zombie movies, but like it does come to a point where it's like what zombies are gonna do. They're not really doing much to like change them up and make them more threatening, or change the concept of them.
exactly. There's a formula for horror movies and certain genre horror movies, just like there's a formula for MCU movies.
Yeah. So with this, it's pretty straightforward. So this is taking place around the events of Infinity War, where Lily start where Banner gets sent to Earth after Thanos raids Thor's ship and kills most of the Asgardians. And then he lands in Doctor Strange's sanctum, be like, Thanos is coming, but nobody's there. I was like, okay, what's going on? And then he walks out into walks out into town, and then he runs into Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf, the two of the Black Order. Um, and then some of the Avengers show up, and then they start attacking the Black Order, and then it's like, and then you see them starting to eat them, and it's like, wait, what's going on? And then it shows that most of the Avengers turned to zombies. Iron Man turned to a zombie, Captain America turned to a zombie, like yeah, a bunch of the Avengers turned to zombies, and so it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. um and it turns out the reason why is that going back to Ant-Man and the Wasp, when Hank Pym was going into the quantum realm to
Mm.
save his wife, and then he finds his wife in the and quantum realm, not quantum realm,
Mhm.
um, she is a zombie in the quantum realm, and then he bites Hank Pym, and then when they go back to our dimension, that's when the zombie stuff started to spread. And he ended up biting everyone and stuff like that. So that's how the zombie thing spread. So I was like, that's kind of a lazy way of
Yeah,
doing that.
pretty much. It would have been kind of more, I don't know, like maybe Hulk crashed to Earth with like a parasite attached to him or something, and like he tried to get help for Thanos, and during the attempt at rounding all the Avengers up, they all get sick with the the zombie virus, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They
So I was
all
like,
they all rejoice at Wakanda, and they think they're about to go up against the army, and they all kill each other. I don't know. That would have been kind of cool.
yeah, that would have been cool. So the only ones that aren't turned into zombies are Wasp, Spider-Man, Bucky, Happy, Sharon Carter, Okoye, and Ant-Man. And Ant-Man is just a head because
Wait,
huh?
who's the one keeping Wanda alive?
Oh,
Vision.
Vision. Yeah,
Vision's
Vision.
alive.
Yeah, obviously, because he's not on the menu because he's a
Yeah.
zombie. He's not. He's not a person. But then yeah, as I said, they were able to preserve Scott's head to
Oh
keep it from
god.
spreading from the zombie
Yeah,
stuff from spreading
those
from the rest of his body.
just reminded me of those trash dad jokes. God.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, I love Scott Lang in as Ant Man. I mean, and I love Paul Rudd as Ant Man, obviously. But like the one liners in this episode is too much. It was too
Bad.
much.
It was
Oh my gosh.
trash.
And then seeing him as a head, I can't help but feel that's just really goofy to me.
Doesn't make
Like
any sense.
it doesn't. I mean, they try to have it make sense, but it's like I don't know. The one thing I instantly thought of when I saw that was Mars Attacks when when they had Pierce Brosnan and Sarah Michelle Gellar's head separated and they're still alive. I'm like, what? What is this goofy nonsense right now? Um, but so yeah, so Vision allegedly found a way to make an antidote using his mind stone or whatever, and they have to go to Wakanda to like create the antidote with the mind stone or whatever. So okay, with the mumbo jumbo that once again doesn't make a whole lot of sense, superhero logic, but okay. Um, but also as we said, like he's preserving Wanda, and she turned into a zombie, and he's preserving Wanda because he loves her. I'm like, dude, you are putting everyone in danger by doing this, man.
Didn't he feed Scott to Wanda?
Um,
Yeah, he did. He
I
did.
think yeah, I think so. Of course he did. Of course he did. Like,
It's pretty maniacal shit.
oh my gosh, like it's so weird with me with the Vision and Wanda relationship because like sometimes I'm with it, and then sometimes I'm thinking it's ridiculous. This is one of those times where it's ridiculous.
I think the
Like,
beginning of Infinity War was when I was like, okay, now I really no.
like, come on now. I mean, I know they have to get together because the comics said so, but it's like, it's just so inconsistent, man. And it's
It-
like I like some stuff from WandaVision, but like not a lot. um, that was up and down in their relationship was up and down in that as well. But but yeah, man, it's like I just it is just so irresponsible of Vision to do that, with Wanda. Um, and it's like they want to make him this tragic character. Is like I can't let her go and all this stuff like that. I'm just like, oh my god, cry me a river. Like let me play you a song, the world's smallest violin. Like no man, it's so ridiculous.
that Mind Stone could probably save the entire world. But, I'm just gonna worry about the one person. I love.
Yeah, of
As
course.
a machine who has analytical answers to a lot of problems that humans don't have. He's an AI, right?
Yeah.
Think he would think that would have popped up in his head.
Yeah, just a little bit. And then if you here's one moment that I thought was really really dumb. A lot of people probably didn't like notice this, but it's like if you didn't want anybody to go in the back room to see where Wanda is, you did do a really good job of like hiding that or containing that or stopping them from going into the other room. You're just like,
On the
wait,
table.
you don't want to go in there. You won't find what you see. Okay, I guess you'll go in there anyway. Okay.
She's just chilling on the table in the middle of the room.
Yeah,
Just chilling.
T'Challa's just chilling there with no leg. Like, oh my, what is going on
That's
right
that.
now?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the feed T'Challa the leg. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, dude, for an AI, you're really done with that. Like, you just gotta let them go into the back room and yeah, okay, I guess I can't stop them now. Okay.
It's not
And
like I can move through walls or anything.
right. Um, I thought it was kind of funny that Spider-Man was doing like the Zombieland type rules with showing the how to survive the apocalypse, doing the recordings and stuff like that with Happy and Bucky and the Russian dude from Ant-Man was also in this as well. So I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
David Dismelton.
David Dismelchin. I could never say his name right, but yeah, David
I think it's
Dismelchin.
Dismalchian, maybe. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Polka Dot Man. But
Yes.
yeah, so I thought that was fun. I thought it was kind of cool that well, I would say cool is the right word, but it's interesting when Hope got bitten and then she turns into a giant and stuff like that and tries to stop them or whatever. That was interesting, I guess. Though she has wings and she could have chased after T'Challa, Spider-Man, and Ant-Man on the jet, but okay, fine. Um, and then as you said earlier with the Hulk versus Wanda fight, man, I was so ready for that fight. It was gonna be so epic, and
Nope.
no, they cut away.
Nope. You don't get any of that. And apparently 1-1.
Yep, no one the way. Hey, Caden, how's it going? Um, yeah, man. Like the one time we bring Hulk back, kind of technically bring Hulk back the way he's supposed to, and get a fight with Wanda, and they don't capitalize on it. Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all, man? And then it kind of would have been interesting to see Hulk turn to a zombie as well, but they don't do that either.
But but the interesting thing is like I think they did bring up. I don't think they did actually, but would a zombie be able to penetrate Hulk's skin? So like them showing Wanda show up at the last episode to to help out Ultron or whatever.
Yeah.
I that's another big plot hole. I was like, how did you penetrate Hulk's skin? Like, you could have 1,000 zombies biting Hulk at the same time. Would that do something? How did you do it? Like, did you bleed in his mouth or something? Is this the type of zombie virus where I just start going down the rabbit hole? It's like, tell me.
Yeah, I know. JK also did. I actually like What If. So he's the one that's saying is garbage, but though I'll admit there's some stuff in What If that I didn't like. So that's what we're talking about. It wasn't all great. So this is one of these things. I'm like, what the hell? Um, but yeah, so they just end with T'Challa and Spider-Man and Ant-Man going to Wakanda and oh, Wakanda got infected by the zombie virus too. And
Yeah.
then they show Thanos also got affected by the zombie stuff, and he has the Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm like, and it just ends the episode like that. And I was like, wait, what? What? Wait, it's not over. Like, what would happen with zombie Thanos? Like, I want to see that.
One thing I was kind of interested in, like, as a zombie, like, obviously you take control of their bodies, but I just don't understand how a zombie just using their powers. Like, I don't
Yeah, like they
understand.
know how to use the powers and they know how to use
Yeah, like
the equipment and stuff like that. So yeah,
they know all their training. Like they can. It's very weird. Very very weird.
yeah. So that's another thing where it's like you gotta suspend your disbelief with this stuff. Um,
In
I mean,
every Marvel project, yeah, yeah.
yeah, pretty much most of all of them. Caden said there's only 3 episodes he liked. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think Bradley's around the same thing. It's probably like 3 episodes that he liked. Um, but yeah, so let us move on now. Hold on a second. Move on to episode 6, where it is. Hold on, I'm about to pull up the thing. What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark?
Oh god.
Okay, so I thought this was a solid episode, but I don't know.
One,
It
I have
just,
one, I have
huh?
one, I have one question about this episode.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would Tony Stark, tech billionaire genius playboy, okay, probably the smartest man in the world, okay, give full control, half control of his company to a man he's known for 2 days? What the fuck?
He
How was
saved
that
his life.
consistent?
He saved his life.
Rhodey saved his life in Iron Man 1, but he
Yeah,
didn't
but that's a different
guarantee.
timeline.
See, this is the bullshit. This is the bullshit people let them get away with.
Also, he's the one that found out that Obadiah Stane was trying to plot against him and stuff like that. So
It's just not consistent with Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr.'s character. I mean, it's not consistent with a different timeline or not. I mean, basically they said like this is after Iron Man 1, I believe.
this is during Iron Man 1.
During Iron, okay, so it's
Yeah.
during Iron Man 1. So yeah, I just don't know. I just think I don't know. Like Tony is he does make repulsive decisions like that, but I think that's a very drastic, and no one says anything about it. No one.
I mean,
It's just it's just dumb. Just dumb to me.
I do get what you're saying with that. It is a little bit of a stretch, but like why it didn't bother me as much is because like in this timeline, Tony doesn't go into the revelation of I need to change my ways or I need to be more responsible, because like I remembering like in the beginning, in Iron Man 1 before, he got captured by the terrorists, like he was very arrogant. He wasn't making the best decisions. He was always thinking about himself. Um, you know, and like so I felt like in that aspect it was pretty consistent because like, with Killmonger coming in and saving his life and without him, getting captured by the terrorists, he wasn't going through that, that growth that we know him now.
I know,
So
but
it's
then in Iron Man 1, he would have had to done the same thing for Rhodey.
I guess, but I don't know if he was in the situation that was similar with, like this, where he had to save life in this type of, scenario, and it's like
No
as
point.
yeah, and as I said, it's like Killmonger showed that like he was more knowledgeable and resourceful, when it comes to technology and also like knowing strategies more than Rhodey and stuff like that. And once again, exposing Obadiah. Like Rhodey wasn't able to do that. So that's another thing with that why I feel I still get what you're saying, like, why
Who
wouldn't he
kills
let
him?
huh?
He dies from getting stabbed in the shoulder with a spear. That's the biggest thing in that episode. I'm like, really, really.
That shows how much Killmonger is the mastermind. But
But like, I don't know, like how many MCU and just movies in general have we seen someone get stabbed in the shoulder and they're perfectly fine? Like the shoulder is the place where you stab someone in the movie, and like you're letting the audience know when you do that, like they're okay. Don't worry. I don't know. It's just fucking.
what
Ugh.
made his mind change was seeing Stark bombs in the hands of Ten Rings. Yeah, exactly. Because he didn't go to that thing yet. I mean, I definitely agree with that. Like the movies do a better job of like showing it how they die. Um, and I would say another thing that was kind of jarring was how T'Challa died with that cannon that Killmonger had, whatever that sonar cannon. I'm like, wait, what is that? Like, and then yeah, he's dead. He's gone from that. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that kills him. All right. But what I thought was really clever was, as I said, how T'Challa was playing the mind games in this episode. Like, this is probably just me being naive, but like, the episode got me for a second. I thought this is going to be a timeline where what if T'Challa was actually a good guy, and I was like, huh, this is interesting. They almost got me for a second. I was like, you know, um, he was helping them out with making drones and stuff like that, and telling them about the vibranium and how they could use that incorporated into the drones, stuff like that, and helping them with like military strategies and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, that's pretty interesting. And of course, Pepper is suspicious, because Pepper's actually smart. But
Once.
right. So what it turns out is that he's setting up Iron Man the entire time. He is using Stark's technology to not only overthrow his company, but kill him in the process. And then he's going to stage this attack on Wakanda using Tony Stark's drones to make it seem like the outside world is planning to take over or destroy Wakanda. And so he's going to pretend that he has a strategy to stop the military and the drones and stuff like that, to trick Wakanda being like he's actually, fit to be king and able to save Wakanda and stuff like that. So he stages this whole thing, and then he eventually becomes king and Black Panther, new Black Panther, because of that. I'm like, wow, that was really clever. That was really smart. That's what I really liked
So you
about
know
the
how
episode.
people in Wakanda can talk to people that are dead in another realm, right?
Yes.
And those people can see what's happening in the world, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think one of those people would have had a conversation, one of those people that might have died, and they would have told them what's going on?
But that didn't happen in the movie. They didn't. They didn't.
I feel
They
like
didn't.
no, I feel like that should have happened though. Like him, like the path to him getting king of Wakanda was just so easy for him. There's no, just flawless, no consequence, no stakes. There's no stakes to him being caught at all.
I
Just,
mean, I get that, but it's like, as I said in the movie, like, remember when T'Challa also became the new Black Panther in the movie, and there was no consequences with that either. The spirits didn't come in and tell them and stop them. So
well, T'Challa wasn't a bad guy though.
I mean, oh, I'm sorry. Did I say T'Challa? I mean Killmonger. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Killmonger.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I meant Killmonger. Like in the movie, Killmonger got the Panther powers as well, and there was no consequences with there either. And he staged a different scenario to make him,
And the
turn
plot hole
into.
plans with both things now, both the movie and the show. I'm not backing down.
Uh, Black Panther is amazing, and you will give it respect.
Those PS2 graphics are great.
You know what?
Love
You know what? I'm not gonna do this with you. I'm not gonna do this with you. But
them.
but another, I guess, like open-ended thing, because like Pepper and Shuri are onto Killmonger, and they're trying to figure out a way to dethrone Kill dethrone Killmonger. So that's another open-ended thing.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if I'm really interested to see what happens after that.
I think for season two, I think they're gonna pick and choose what they do with some of those open-ended episodes. Like they're gonna pick and choose like what they do for part two and what they don't do.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
I don't want the whole season to be part two of every episode that we got. I want some new stuff too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I just don't want it all to be like continuations from the other episodes. I want them
Yeah.
to take more risks, do weirder stories, do different stories. So, um, okay, so I think that is all with that episode. So we can move
Get to
on
the movie.
to. Oh shit! Oh, shit. We gotta go into this crap. Oh my gosh! All right. What if Thor was an only child? this this episode
Was the worst one.
is garbage. Yes, it's the worst one. It is, it's awful. I hate it. I hate it. Um I'm trying to get off my screen. Get the fuck off my screen. Oh my god. Um Man, okay. So I know we've disagreed on quite a bit of stuff with these episodes so far, but I think this is another one of those where it's like we agreed that the Doctor Strange one was the best. I think we both can agree this is the worst one.
I agree.
This
Yes.
is this was
Bad.
such a waste of time. It was a waste of time. And I remember you said earlier that when they were writing these shows that they were drunk doing it. This is the prime example. This felt like somebody was drunk or high making this episode.
No,
This,
they specifically said the writing staff was very fucked up writing this episode.
I'm like, Kevin Feige, you let this shit happen? Like what? What is this? Actually, I do see why they let this happen because this is also appealing to the people that like Thor Ragnarok. Because people like the goofy, silly, comedic Thor. They did that again in Avengers Endgame with the big Thor Bowski, and now this shit is garbage.
I think the thing I love most about this episode, and they already did it in the movies, but they just made it a very highlighted point that Natalie Portman is just useless in the Thor universe. She's just useless, and they proved that. I mean, she proved it herself in the movies, but they specifically proved it in this episode.
Yeah, this episode I can't deny it anymore. I mean, up until this point, I thought she was fine. She wasn't offensive. She was just
And
there.
Darcy fucking and marrying Howard the Duck is some weird bestiality shit. Okay, that was weird. That was really
Why?
weird.
Just why? Just why? Yeah. So yeah, Jade Foster is a waste of time. Even in animation, Thor and Jade have no chemistry. Like,
Yep.
like what?
Not even
So
the same voice actors.
no,
Chemistry.
nope, nope. So the plot of this episode is okay. So this is an alternate timeline where Odin gave Loki back to the Frost Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Loki never becomes a demigod, never becomes Thor's brother. Never stays in Asgard. He becomes a Frost Giant like he's supposed to, and so Thor becomes an only child, and so he grows up to be this arrogant, pompous party head, and pretty much his life goal, his motivation, is to party on different planets, making the biggest parties in the history of the realms, and his parties are so crazy that they end up destroying whatever planet he goes on. I am not kidding. That is what happens. He has a party so massive on whatever planet he's going to, he ends up destroying the planet. And so Thor's mother is going off and having a gathering with her girlfriends, and while she's away, she says, um,
It's
okay, so Bradley got to head out in 25 minutes. Um, okay, so I'm gonna try and get through these as much fast as we can, but it's like but yeah, so Thor's mother goes off and has a gathering with her girlfriends, and so Thor behind her mother's back has a party on Earth when he's not supposed to, and this is around the time of the first Thor movie as well. So that's what happens, and so he has this huge party, and a whole bunch of characters from the other movies appear, like Nebula and Jeff Goldblum's character. Loki comes in as an actual frost giant, which I thought was kind of interesting, seeing him as a frost giant,
I did like
and
that.
yeah, and like he's still friends with Thor or whatever, and like Drax is there, Korg is there, a whole bunch of characters. Howard the Duck is there, as we said. So yeah, all this stuff is crazy, and so Shield comes in and tries to get information out of Jade Foster, but she doesn't want to help them fully because she's in love with Thor because he's so hot. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. Um,
Oh,
it's garbage. It's terrible. And so they call in Captain Marvel with the the alert buzzer thing that Nick Fury has, whatever. And so Captain Marvel tries to come in and tries to stop Thor, and that doesn't end up happening. Okay, that this is how bad this episode is because I don't like Captain Marvel. I don't like Brie Larson, but this episode made me root for Captain Marvel to kick Thor's ass because yeah, like I could not stand him. Like yeah, I was rooting for him to kill him or kick his ass. Like that's how bad this episode is. You make me root for Captain Marvel. But so that whole plan is going awry, and so Captain Marvel doesn't end up stopping him. I mean, okay, it was kind of cool to see Captain Marvel and Thor fight. You see their powers on display, so that was kind of interesting, but not enough to save the episode. Um, and so what ends up happening is Jade Foster goes and gets Heimdall to teleport him to Thor's mother and tells him that Thor's in trouble, which sends his mother to go to Earth. And then Thor tries to clean up everything on Earth. Conveniently, he's able to clean up everything on Earth in such a fast period of time. But okay, sure. And he, yeah, he puts everything back to normal. And then, yeah, in time for Mother to come in and see what he's doing. And just, oh my God, it's bullshit. I hate this episode so much. I hate it.
I mean Vegas too.
Yes. Makes no sense.
Jesus.
It's just so, and it makes Jade Foster even stupider that she's trying to cover up what Thor's doing because he's so hot and I love him. Like, it's just so bad. I can't stand it. It's like there are people that defend this episode, being like, I like this episode. It's fun. No, it's not. It's ridiculous.
No, there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. And this is why Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be garbage as well. But is what it is. I mean, I hope
we're gonna get the same storyline with Thor. He's finding himself. Oh my God.
Yeah, like how many times are we gonna do this, bro?
Until they're done with Thor.
Yeah, I guess. Saving Grace will probably be the Guardians, and I'm curious to see how Christian Bale will do.
It's taken two separate trilogies, his own trilogy and the Avenger trilogy, to still not be Thor.
Nope. Honestly, I don't think we'll ever get the Thor we know ever again.
Just gonna get a goofball.
Yeah. I'm sure people are like, we like Thor. Thor Ragnarok was great, man. Love and Thunder's gonna be great. I don't know why y'all are hating so much. This is not that hashtag not our Thor. Bring back the Thor from the first movie. Bring back the Thor from Infinity War. We want that Thor. Huh? Same thing with Hulk. Hashtag not my Hulk. I agree. Stupid. But yeah, I'm done talking about this episode. I'm moving on. I can't. Okay, so now the final two episodes. We have What If Ultron won? Now, this is how you do Ultron. I'm going to say up front, this is how you do Ultron, man. I was very disappointed with him in Age of Ultron. James Spader did a cool voice. I'll give him that. But as far as how they written the character, I thought it was really bad. But they gave Ultron redemption in this episode. So in this episode, this is a timeline where Vision, I guess, won. He won the battle against the Avengers, and he was able to take over Vision's body.
Mm.
And then Thanos comes in with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Conveniently ready for Vision.
Yeah.
Every stone available for him.
Yep, we all saw the memes from now. The fascinating, and then he beams Thanos in half, cross-section style, and takes the Infinity Stones and turns into multiversal Ultron. Like, wow. Okay, I know some people have a problem with how easily he was able to kill Thanos, which I totally get that. Like, it was jarring. Like, he just shoots Thanos and he's done.
I think people, it is pretty easy to say that, yeah, he could have done that in Infinity War. And I was saying that for a minute, but then I realized, this Vision's programming is different than that Vision's. That Vision's programming is to protect. to do everything at all costs to protect, you know, the people around you and your team, and just the world and humans in general.
Hmm.
That's the protocol of Vision. That was the whole ideal that Tony and Bruce had about Vision, armor around the world. It's basically what Vision is. So like this is a much different Vision.
Exactly. This one's a much more cerebral. This one is trying to end lives. Like he's no nonsense. So you know, I thought that was crazy. I thought that was cool.
I did like it. I did like it. I wasn't expecting them to get James Spader, but it would have been cool. It would have been cool to hear him.
Yeah, I thought it was close enough. Like
Yeah,
they got a good enough likeness of his
it was all
voice.
right.
Hmm. But yeah, this Ultron, man, could you imagine this Ultron in the live action movies? Like he is destroying planets. He is going into different multiverses and destroying that with ease. Like this is an Ultron that's scary. Like
That
I would be
scene,
scared for the Avengers.
that scene with him and the Watcher was pretty cool, and they go through the different realities.
Yeah.
Especially there's not a lot of people caught it, but there's a Mustafar reality. So when there's a scene where they go through Mustafar and you can see Vader's castle in the background. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that was a nice Easter egg. Yeah. I like that. But yeah, it was nuts that, once again, he knows that the Watcher is out there, and then he goes into his reality and it's like, oh, these are other realities? I must destroy them as well. And then the Watcher and Ultron get into this huge multiversal battle. I was like, that was really cool. And then the
It
Watcher
was
has this cool uniform. That was awesome. Um, and then was this was the episode where Hawkeye and Black Widow were the only humans on Earth, or was that the
I
last episode?
think that might be the last one. Let me double check. No, that is this one.
Okay, so
But
yeah,
they're in the last one too.
right, right. So yeah, so they're the final humans on Earth, and then so they're trying to figure out a way to create a virus um to shut down Ultron, and then they end up finding the whatever that scientist that put his mind into a computer in the Hydra dude, the Hydra scientist,
I
whatever.
forget his name.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I forgot his name.
forget his name. So yeah, so they find him, and so he ends up becoming the virus, and so they put him in one of Hawkeye's arrows, and they're gonna use that to shut down Ultron in the next episode. We'll get to in a second. Um, there was another part of that. There was another like part of that where the Watcher was like watching them, being like, "Hey, get that file right there. You can try to find the file. It's right there." Like you literally could just go in there and just be like, "Hey, it's that," because Ultron already came in as like, "Yeah, I know you're the Watcher, and I'm going to destroy all multiverses." So at that point, all bets are off. You need to go into their reality and tell them what's going on. But that happens in the last episode. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much we can go into the finale because that's pretty much this pretty much lead up into the finale. So
I enjoyed this episode. There was its issues along the way, but overall, it was a good setup for the finale.
I agree. I agree. Like, yeah, as I said, I'm glad that they did Ultron justice in this. Like, he actually was intimidating. They actually made him powerful. Like, yeah. So that's what I really enjoyed about this episode, and it raised the stakes for the multiversal stuff and the Watcher and stuff like that. So it set up a really what would potentially be a really good finale. Well, let us get into this finale. What if the Watcher broke his oath? So in this episode, the Watcher, as I said, he breaks his oath and he goes into different timelines and realities to get certain quote unquote heroes or whatever to make this group called the Guardians of the Multiverse. And so they all team up to stop Ultron from destroying all their realities. So they get Killmonger from a different reality. They get Strange Supreme. They get Party Thor. They get Captain Carter, and they get Gamora
Yeah,
from a different reality, which she didn't get her own episode. I don't understand why.
we were supposed to get that was supposed to be the last episode, but it's going to be the first episode of season 2.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that really confused me too because I was like, you have Gamora who defeated Thanos, and Iron Man is with her as well. Oh, do you remember in the some of the posters they showed Spider-Man with Doctor Strange's cape. We didn't get that payoff with that either, did we?
I, th- I think we did. Yeah, I think we got that in the zombie episode.
Oh, maybe we did. Okay, I thought it was going to be an episode where Spider-Man gets Doctor Strange's powers or something like that. But okay. So
I wish.
yes, yeah, maybe they'll do that in season 2. I don't know. But yeah, so the Watcher gathers all these heroes from different timelines, team up. And so their plan is, okay, Gamora has a Infinity Stone extractor, and so they're going to use that to get the stones from Ultron and stuff like that. So I guess that's their main plan. And so it leads to this huge crazy battle with Ultron in this, like, I don't know where they were. They were just like in the center of the multiverse or something like that, or something like that.
Some
But
random ass
some
universe.
random ass place. Um, it was a lot of stuff happened in this. So Doctor Strange makes this protection spell for everyone. That was really cool. Whenever Ultron is attacking them, they had a spell over them and stuff like that. And man, there's just so much going on. So it's that Doctor Strange fighting Ultron, and while that's happening, Captain Carter and Black Widow from the other reality comes in and helps them as well. And they're using both their shields to attack Ultron as well. And then Gamora coming in with her sword, and then Thor using his lightning attack of "Viva Las Vegas!" That type of stuff. Like, it was so much chaos happening, but so it so they end up getting the stones off of Ultron, and then they use the arrow with the Hydra scientists, whatever, hacking stuff in there, and so they they shoot Ultron with it, and then the Hydra dude takes over Ultron's body and stuff like that, and then they get the stones off of Ultron, but then Killmonger tries to take the stones and tries to change reality and tries to influence the other guardians of the multiverse to be like, hey, we can use these stones to help fix your reality, and stuff like that, because bad stuff happened in your reality and stuff like that. But then the Hydra dude in Vision's body stops Killmonger, and then they have like this struggle of like they're using the force, they're using the force
Pretty
to
much.
to get use the Infinity Stones to to pull them or whatever. But then the guardians of the multiverse realize that, okay, they're not supposed to win or capture the Infinity Stones. They're just supposed to entrap them in their own little dome that Strange Supreme was in his episode. So that's what Strange Supreme ends up doing, traps them in a similar dome that he's in. And so Hydra, Vision, and Killmonger are stuck in this frozen state with the Infinity Stones where they're struggling, and that's how they save the multiverse. Now reciting that actually is ridiculous.
Bullshit.
That actually is ridiculous.
One thing that's really bullshit to me is how you show him literally bite. He ate a universe, right? He's the most powerful being, but when he's chasing after the guardians of the multiverse, he's chasing them like Tom and Jerry, like an idiot. Like you display this power level that's insane. Some of the most powerful, if not the most powerful being we've ever seen displayed in Marvel cinematic history. Just in an animated thing, he's probably the most powerful being we've seen so far, I
Yeah.
guess. But when you display that power and you make him a bumbling idiot and he can't even chase after these lousy human beings, and he's above a human being, like he kills Thanos in an instant, and he had every stone in his hand ready for him, but he can't do that with these guardians. It's not consistent with what they displayed. It's just very, very like, what the fuck.
Yeah, like when he's getting hit by everyone,
Yeah.
getting like he's not able to wouldn't he be able to stop them at that? Like, he wouldn't let himself get jumped like that. And then the one thing that I might let give a pass if like he's not easily able to do that to Strange Supreme, but even that's even kind of stretching it. But it's like everyone else is fair game. So it's like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, now thinking about it, it is kind of weird.
It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's pretty strange. Strange. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like okay, it's the Infinity War effect again because like we forget how powerful Thanos is in that movie, but then when he's fighting Thor and the Guardians and Spider-Man and stuff like that, and Strange, he's having a hard time, even though he was easily able to dispatch them earlier on in the film. So it's like it's a similar thing with that. So yeah, I see that now.
but I do like that ending scene with Strange, and it kind of alludes to him being in Doctor Strange too. I do like that scene though.
I agree. I agree. Though what was also BS about it was the Black Widow from the other reality. The Watcher was able to take her and put her in a different reality, but you don't do that for Doctor Strange or Strange
I'm pretty
Supreme. I'm
sure.
sorry,
I'm pretty sure he put her in the reality where
they
it's
lost their
the
Black Widow.
reality where they lost her after Endgame, wasn't
Yeah,
it? So I was like,
I
wait, what? You can't
actually
interfere.
no. Actually, I don't think it was. I don't think it was the same one as the Prime universe because like
It was
it's
a different one.
a different one. Yeah, because I
Oh yeah,
remember they were still in their they were in their Avengers 1 uniforms in that at that
yes.
point. So yeah. So yeah, the Watcher was able to do that for Black Widow, but he couldn't do anything for that for Strange Supreme. I think he proved himself at that point, right? Like
Yeah. You think he would have?
yeah. So okay. So that's how the episode ends. Oh wait, no, because there's a big credit scene where Captain Carter and that reality's Black Widow goes into this storage facility, and then it looks like Steve Rogers' Iron Man suit is in there, and they're
Yes, I forgot about.
alluding that he's alive. Like, what?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that confused me as well. I was like, wait, how is it? Oh, okay, all right. Like,
It's
are you gonna? Is he dead or is he not?
just they'll never make up their minds.
I thought the Loki stuff was ridiculous, but yeah, man. So that pretty much sums up what if. Um, so yeah, man. So now talking it with you, I do notice some things now that aren't as great.
Seen the light.
Yeah, I noticed some plot holes and inconsistencies more. Um, but I still enjoy this show the most out of the other Marvel shows. It catches my attention more than the other shows. I still think it's more risk taking than the other live action shows. Once again, I still haven't seen Moon Knight yet, so I don't know how that is. But like,
It's yeah. You're right. You're right.
oh, okay, so yeah, man, like I I am looking forward to seeing what they do with season two. This is the type of storytelling and risk taking that I want to see from the MCU going forward with the movies. I hope they incorporate this type of storytelling a little bit more. Um, but like be more risky this time. They still were playing it safe to an extent. Like be more risky. Um, and I hope some of these stories will be incorporated in Multiverse of Madness, as we said. I'm pretty sure it will be.
Oh,
Um, Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I like the show. Y'all can get at me. I think it's enjoyable. Y'all can say it's the worst one, whatever. I definitely don't agree. Um, but yeah,
okay, like I said, Miss Marvel might take the cake for that. I think it will.
Miss Marvel. Yeah, I mean it. I'm expecting it to be like Ant-Man level,
Yeah.
really, like not
I,
too
I,
serious. Like
I
you know,
honestly, I don't think I'm gonna watch it. This trailer
you're not gonna watch it.
for the first time in my life, because like before I was a DC fan, I've always been an MCU stan. Like I was a huge MCU stan back in the day. Like I
Yeah.
was one of those people like you couldn't criticize Marvel. Like they're
Mhm.
perfect. Nothing's wrong with them. Until I saw the light. Okay, I saw the light. God spoke to me and said, "Don't listen to Feige. Don't listen to Kevin Feige anymore. Don't give him any more of your time." And I listened. Okay, I listened for the better.
Mhm.
But just
I
I'm
agree.
finding myself for the very first time as a comic book, just a comic book movie and comic book fan in general, just very disinterested in a lot of what DC and Marvel's doing. I just don't. I just find myself picking and choosing what I'm going to see and not going to see. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of sad, to be honest, because I think this is a perfect time for the genre to excel and get larger than it was before. But it seems to be doing that, but not in the way that I I care, I guess.
Right. Like it's been over 10 years. Y'all can do more y'all can do more ambitious stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, so overall I will say that Marvel's What If is pretty good. It's pretty good. I was very close to giving it greatness, but like, after we talked about it, I was like, actually no, it's not greatness. It still has problems, but it's
Yeah.
still I think it's good. I think it's good.
Yeah. I give it a 2 out of 10.
Oh, holy shit. Hold on. I actually made it for you. 2 out of 10.
You have it already. There
Yep.
you go.
Yep.
Official
Dang, 2 out
rating.
of 10. Oh, all right. Okay, well, that is our thoughts on Marvel's What If. If you guys have watched it, what did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Comment your thoughts and let us know. Um, I'd like to thank Bradley for joining with me.
Of course. Of
I
course.
hope to get him on more streams. Hopefully get him some more Marvel stuff as well, because as I said, I'm going to play catch up.
Yeah.
So,
I do want to talk about Hawkeye with you.
oh, definitely,
Very
we
interested to hear your thoughts on that.
we will get that
And
done.
eventually we'll get to Moon Knight too.
Moon Knight as well. Yes,
Oh
definitely.
god.
hmm
Shit.
But yeah, goodness gracious. um, but if you guys enjoyed this live stream, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And hit the bell if you want to be notified of future videos I'll be doing. Check out Bradley's channel, Compatible Cinema and Gaming. And you can see both of us on the Movie Madness Entertainment channel with
Sir.
Mad Max. We'll be on some streams here and there. But yeah, that and so the next Marvel project we'll be talking about is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I have that podcast up really soon. Then we'll get into the Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Hawkeye, as we said, and then Moon Knight when it's done airing. But yeah, that is all we have for you Marvel fans. And we will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Bye-bye.